Hey, Raj, how you doing?
Hey, Raj, what's happening?
Smells like it already happened.
And then later they called and said, well, you know, we're going to do a 3-camera. We're going to keep you, get rid of everybody else, and cast another group around you.
You're partying, celebrities are coming over, and then in 1979, the show gets canceled. And you didn't even know it was coming.
No. Found out from a newsstand guy.
Ernest Thomas, a key figure from the television show What's Happening, has decided to unveil the concealed aspects of the series that were kept away from the public eye. Recently, Thomas has been candidly discussing the behind-the-scenes reality of the show, shedding light on a range of issues from alleged racism within the production to the unfortunate fate of Fred Berry. With a desire to bring transparency to the untold stories, Thomas is now opening up about the hidden truths of what's happening. So let's delve into the revelations and learn more about the untold narrative surrounding the show. Renowned for his role in the 70s hit sitcom What's Happening, the legendary actor Ernest Thomas Lee has experienced the highs and lows of Hollywood life. Amidst the show's success, he enjoyed the perks of wealth and fame, basking in the limelight as a sought-after personality. However, following the cancellation of the sitcom, Thomas faced a challenging period marked by regrettable life decisions, leading him down a difficult path that demanded salvation.
This is your identity at this point.
Yeah,
You're Raj. From
right.
From What's Happening.
Right.
And now you're canceled.
Yeah.
And you went into a depression over that.
Oh, yeah.
Rising to prominence in the mid-70s, the star catapulted into the spotlight with his professional debut in the 1974 Broadway production of Love for Love. Prior to this, he dedicated time to refining his acting prowess at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. His pursuit of a full-time acting career led him to relocate to Los Angeles. In quick succession, the actor secured a role on The Jeffersons as Ronnie Walker. Within the same year, he made a notable appearance on the 1975 hit series Beretta, setting the stage for his subsequent role on The Brady Bunch Hour. In addition to his achievements on the small screen, Thomas also left a mark with notable movie roles. His diverse filmography includes portraying Kailuba in the mini-series Roots, Mr. Omar in Everybody Hates Chris, Lenny in Basketball Girlfriend, and Sidney in Malcolm X. Interestingly, Thomas was initially considered for the lead role of Kunta Kinte in Roots, but ultimately took on the character of Kailuba after missing out on the lead role. While Ernest Thomas has made a mark in various movie roles, his most enduring and iconic portrayal remains that of Roger Raj Thomas on What's Happening, and its sequel, What's Happening Now. These television series not only showcased Thomas's acting prowess, but also solidified his status as a beloved and memorable figure in the world of sitcoms. According to him, he learned about the series on the set of The Jeffersons. It was Mary White, the agent of Isabel Sanford, who played Louise Jefferson, who encouraged Thomas to audition. My first sitcom was The Jeffersons, and she was loving what I was doing as a guest star. She came over and told me, "There's a new pilot called Cooley High, and I think you'd be perfect for it." I had an agent already, so I thanked her and told her I'd tell my agent. When I did, he got all upset, asking, "Who in the hell is she to tell you about this show?" But he landed an audition. This pivotal role catapulted him to stardom, and the legend has been candid about the journey to securing this breakthrough and the sacrifices he had to make along the way. He once divulged, "I lost a few friends as I got cast as Raj because everybody wanted to be Raj. I auditioned against over 200 actors for the role. After enduring several callbacks and rigorous screen tests, Thomas ultimately secured the coveted role." He attributes landing the part to what he perceives as a divine decree shaped by his prayers and faith.
I just knew this was going to be a hit, but they said it wasn't funny enough. It was a one camera, and they had the original guy.
Assuming the role of Raj at the young age of 26, Thomas defied age barriers as he swiftly ascended to success. The show became an instant hit, catapulting him to fame during its run from 1976 to 1979. As a pivotal character, Thomas easily won the hearts of fans, becoming a beloved figure. The success of the show not only brought him widespread acclaim, but also substantial wealth and affluence, marking a remarkable achievement for the then young actor.
And then later they called and said, well, we're going to do a 3-camera. We're going to keep you, get rid of everybody else, and cast another group around you.
Thomas later reprised the iconic role in the sequel, What's Happening Now, which returned to the screens in 1985 after a 6-year hiatus, extending his association with the beloved character for another 3 years. Seemingly thrust into the challenges of managing the weight that accompanies a life of fame and affluence at a relatively young age, Thomas found himself grappling with the aftermath of What's Happening going off the air. His journey took a downturn, influenced by a series of questionable life choices.
Yeah, major depression, more because I haven't introduced at that time, and Remy. So those were the go-to, and of course, weed.
The abrupt cancellation of the show came as an unexpected blow for Thomas, who revealed that he learned about it not through official channels, but from a newsstand vendor. This moment of sudden realization had a profound impact on him, shaping the trajectory of his life in the years that followed. He said, all that was required was deciding to trust in God and establishing a personal relationship with Him. Thomas openly acknowledged experiencing a period of depression following the disheartening revelation about the show's cancellation, which unfortunately led him into the grips of substance abuse. He grappled with addiction to illicit substances such as C, crack, and M.
And crack.
Yeah, which came in the 80s, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that came in the 80s, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, like 1980, like 79, 80.
Reflecting on the experience of substance abuse, Thomas admitted that initially it induced a powerful and euphoric feeling of ecstasy. However, he also acknowledged the dark side that followed, where the aftermath of the high brought about a descent into negativity. The allure of the substances led to encounters with sinister thoughts, leaving one with a pervasive sense of inadequacy and negativity.
You have this euphoria, like, oh my God, I want to feel this way all my life. But then that downside, then the devil comes. Yeah. Right? And every thought, every evil thought.
Initially, the star attempted to impose limits on his D use. However, over the years, the situation took a devastating turn, prompting him to recognize the urgent need to break free from the grip of addiction. The turning point for Thomas arrived when he faced eviction from his home, having depleted all his financial resources and unable to meet rent obligations. Following this upheaval, the icon sought refuge by moving in with his sister, who, despite his financial struggles, welcomed him with open arms. This marked a crucial juncture in his life, propelling him towards the realization that a change was imperative.
Hey, you're my son now, come on over, But I was smart enough not to come over because I knew being a millionaire, I would end up dead there.
Shortly thereafter, Thomas, fueled by determination, embarked on a journey to break free from his D-addiction by reconnecting with his Muslim roots. He turned to prayer, earnestly seeking divine intervention to aid him in overcoming his struggles. A pivotal moment in his path to recovery occurred when his cousin introduced a Muslim acquaintance. This individual engaged in candid conversations with Thomas, providing guidance and influence that played a crucial role in motivating him to pursue a clean and sober lifestyle.
My cousin brought this Muslim guy over, and I needed something. As Christians would say, well, why didn't you? I said, you guys are too busy getting high to talk about Christ.
The actor from Funny People has been transparent about his deep faith, which originated in 1975 when he forged a personal connection with God and embraced Islam. He attributes every accomplishment in his life to God, whom he trusts above all others. However, some people speculated that he changed his religion due to the negative impact of the show.
But that had been done already. But I'm telling everyone, that's my part. That was my part. As God would have it, I happened to go at that time.
Having weathered the challenges and lows in his journey, Thomas now dedicates himself to spreading the message that God loves everyone equally. He firmly believes that God is ready to work miracles in the lives of others, emphasizing the universal nature of divine love and intervention. In his journey of faith, Thomas discovered that all it required was the decision to trust in God and establish a personal relationship with Him. Inspired by his profound experiences, he penned the book From Raj to Riches: Overcoming Life Through Faith. Through this book, Thomas aspires to motivate and encourage others to prioritize their relationship with God. He believes that by putting God first, everything else, even in the complex world of showbiz, will fall into place. The book serves as a testament to his belief in the transformative power of faith and its potential to guide individuals through life's challenges. Moreover, Thomas was also up against 200 actors for the part. They were looking at, I would say, at least 200 people. Thomas recalls of the audition process, which lasted several weeks. I auditioned for the role of Preach Jackson in Cooley High, which became Roger Thomas in What's Happening. The days dragged on as Thomas awaited the final verdict. "Those sleepless nights were not cutting it at all," he says with a laugh. "I was so frustrated, it was like, make a choice. I won't be mad if it's not me because at least then I know." It did not stop here. He also claimed that the show was a racist. "It was definitely a positive," Ernest Thomas, who played lead character Roger Thomas, told Today. "I think a supernatural positive effect because of the absence of blacks on television. Even though Good Times was out there and Jeffersons and Sanford and Son were on, it wasn't the youth. What's happening was these three teenagers, which I think had an impact on all cultures so that everybody can identify with friends, teenage friends." The comedy boasted strong and memorable characters, including Roger, his shy friend Dwayne, played by Haywood Nelson, and Rerun, played by Fred Berry, their dim-witted yet lovable and overweight companion. Roger's sister, Dee, portrayed by Danielle Spencer, added a touch of sibling rivalry, constantly coaxing her brother for quarters, while their hardworking single mother, played by Mabel King, served as the moral center.
Hey, Raj, how you doing?
Hey, Raj, what's happening?
Smells like it already happened.
You wearing Brave Bull? So am I.
The group of friends frequently gathered at the soda shop, where wisecracking waitress Shirley engaged in banter with the customers. The humor often included fast and furious fat jokes, raising questions about their appropriateness in today's context. Inspired by the 1975 film Cooley High, What's Happening transcended racial boundaries and resonated with a diverse audience. Thomas believes that beyond providing laughs, the sitcom had a broader impact, connecting with people from all backgrounds over the years. It also helped with race relations, he said. "I've talked to white folks over the years that hated black folks. I mean, goodness, they hated them and their folks were that way. But as a child, when the folks were gone, they'd be channel surfing, right? And stumble over what's happening and find themselves staying there. And next thing you know, they're laughing, but they go, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to laugh." It chipped away the racism, he added. Despite not becoming a ratings juggernaut, What's Happening thrived on the chemistry among its cast. Roger, known for his terrible dance moves, boisterous laugh, and tendency to mumble when in trouble, became a distinctive character. Rerun, with his signature suspenders and beret, showcased killer dance moves, while Dwayne's trademark greeting was, "Hey, hey, hey," and he often gasped, "Nuh-uh," when disapproving of something. From the very first day of working together, Thomas sensed there was something special. "I swear, man, it was like an out-of-body experience," he reflected. "I don't know these people. But as soon as I walked in that room, man, it was a thing that I can't explain. They gave me chills. It's like we know each other already." The show underwent transformations during its relatively short run. Mabel King departed from the series, leading to Roger and Rerun moving into their own apartment, where new characters were introduced. Among them were the white father-son duo of Big Earl and Little Earl, with the latter having a crush on Dee. "I think they found it amusing," Thomas remarked about the show's audience. "You know, you're not thinking about it because it's a little kid. As far as interracial relations, I think it really helped." Thomas also holds the belief that the series played a role in paving the way for other black-centered comedies in the 80s, such as The Cosby Show and 227. Thomas attributes the cancellation of the series to tension between Fred Berry and the show's producers. According to Thomas, the breaking point occurred when Berry accused the producers of being racist. This accusation, Thomas suggests, ultimately led to the show's cancellation, despite his belief that it could have continued. When asked about his favorite episode, Thomas didn't hesitate to respond. "The two-part Doobie Brothers, hands down," he said, referring to the two-part episode in which the band performs a concert at the Friends High School, which the group had supposedly attended. And Rerun agrees to illegally record it in exchange for good tickets. "It really set us apart from all the other shows," Thomas said, while adding that the members of the band were really good guys. In a memorable episode, Roger attempts to locate a band at their hotel by calling and cleverly asks,
"Which doobie you be?"
when someone picks up, an iconic line that has left a lasting impact. Although the show concluded in 1979, its allure continued to grow, thanks to syndication, which began as early as 1980. "What's Happening?" found a new and devoted audience. But then the show became more popular in reruns than on prime time, Thomas remarked. Who knew? 69 episodes, actually 65. The phenomenon of "what's happening" is most of these shows, like Good Times and All in the Family, they got 100, 200 shows. It was only 69 episodes that people ate like popcorn. This resurgence set the stage for something virtually unheard of at the time, a reboot. After the show's cancellation, Thomas found himself inundated with fans at concerts, sparking an idea for a revival.
You see photos of it now on the internet. So that failed. So that was a disappointment. That's when I thought, well, maybe I was wrong.
Despite facing disinterest from his former co-stars, writers, and his manager, Thomas found an unexpected ally in Muhammad Ali, who happened to be a fan of the original series. Encouraged by Ali, Thomas was inspired to persist. When I met Muhammad Ali, I was telling him about it, and he says, "Look, instead of complaining, just go to them. Go to the studio and tell them." Thomas recalled. Taking Ali's advice to heart, he did just that. Initially met with rejection, Thomas's perseverance paid off when executives recognized the enduring popularity of the reruns. This realization paved the way for What's Happening Now, marking it as one of the first reboots in TV history. The show premiered in 1985 and enjoyed a 3-season run. In the original treatment for the reboot, Thomas envisioned Roger and Shirley being married, but this concept was eventually scrapped. He also revealed that Vanessa Williams was initially set to play his wife, Nadine, but lost the part due to the release of nude photos in 1984 after she was crowned Miss America. Despite these changes, Thomas remains content with the reboot, which notably introduced an unknown comedian named Martin Lawrence to the TV scene when he joined the series in 1987. Nearly half a century has passed since What's Happening? First graced the airwaves, Thomas reflects on the enduring impact of the show. With the passing of Barry, Hemphill, and King, he marvels at how the series continues to resonate. Thomas has encountered military personnel who find comfort in watching episodes on military bases, highlighting the show's enduring influence. Additionally, attending a pop culture convention revealed the show's ability to break down color barriers, leaving a lasting impression on fans. "The first time we went there, we could not believe the line. We see all these lines of white people," he said. And I said, "Oh, somebody was really popular." And so one of the people working there said, "They're waiting on you. They're waiting to get in to meet you." We could not believe it. Not only Thomas faced the challenges because of the show, one more actor went through the same thing, who was Fred Barry. Fred Barry remains a definitive example of an actor forever tied to a particular role. His portrayal of the beret and suspenders clad, constantly dancing Freddie Stubbs, aka Rerun, on the 1976 to 1979 teen sitcom What's Happening. Barry not only accepted, but also capitalized on the inevitability of being forever known as Fred Rerun Barry. Following the show, the majority of his post, What's Happening? Roles were either reprisals of the character or cameos as himself.
But, one of the standouts was Fred Barry,
Oh, yeah.
aka Rerun.
Yes.
Now, Fred kind of had an interesting background before joining the show.
However, the weight of being Rerun took its toll on Barry. Despite becoming a millionaire by the age of 29, he struggled with the stress of success, leading him into a downward spiral of DNA. This decade-long addiction resulted in 3 suicide attempts. Eventually, Barry found sobriety in 1985 and later went on to become a Christian minister, marking a transformative chapter in his life. He said, "I was a millionaire by the time I was 29, he told People in 1996. "The stress of success got to me, and I got heavily into DNA. I was empty inside." Fred Barry's romantic life became notably complicated in the aftermath of his television success. Before his death in 2003 at the age of 52, Barry went through a total of 6 marriages involving 4 different women, with 2 of his spouses marrying him twice. Despite the public scrutiny surrounding his personal life, Barry chose not to publicly disclose the identity of his estranged 6th wife. In response to inquiries about this particular marriage, Barry stated, "She's been trying to get her 15 minutes of fame from me off of my name and my career ever since we got married. I don't want to give her that pleasure," as reported by People. The actor's personal struggles and complex relationships added another layer to his post. What's happening? Experiences. Married 6 times to 4 different women, Barry knew both the ups and downs of life, riding high on his earnings from What's Happening, but crashing to earth when the show ended in 1979. He freely admitted that when he was at his top, it sort of went to his head, the Hollywood lifestyle. Shelton said, "He told me that in an 8-month span, he blew $1 million on D and gambling. But in later years, he used that when speaking to school children. He was really motivated in trying to help kids, telling them not to do like he did." When the income from his acting career dwindled, Fred Berry's life took a downward spiral. Despite his talents, Berry found himself typecast as Rerun, the cheerful beret-wearing breakdancer from What's Happening, which made it challenging for him to secure roles outside of this character.
In the East Coast, the guys were more acrobatic,
Right,
and did a lot
right.
more floor work.
Right.
In LA, in the West Coast, they're more kind of with the hand motions
Yeah.
and that type.
According to Shelton, a friend of Berry's, the actor struggled to overcome this stereotype. Eventually, Berry decided to embrace and live with the Rerun persona, finding a measure of acceptance. In later years, he began to experience a resurgence, making a comeback as Rerun. Appearances on shows like Scrubs and Dickie Roberts brought him joy, as he felt he was getting a second chance at stardom. This comeback marked a positive turn in Berry's career, bringing him renewed satisfaction and recognition.
And it really came from him.
Yeah.
He was the one that really invented a lot of that.
Fred Berry's ex-manager had penned a script for What's Happening, the movie, and Berry was actively shopping it around Hollywood. Additionally, he was working on an autobiography titled Tears of a Clown, the Rerun Berry story, with the assistance of his friend Shelton. However, tragedy struck when Berry suffered a stroke. Although his speech remained intact, the stroke significantly impacted his motor skills. This turn of events was particularly poignant for Berry, who, as one of the pioneers of breakdancing, suddenly found himself unable to walk without a cane.
He was actually part of what I would call a breakdancing group called the Lockers.
The Lockers, yeah.
And, as someone who was breakdancing, in the 80s.
Despite the challenges, Berry maintained an optimistic and upbeat outlook, reminiscent of his character Rerun, until the day he passed away. Shelton recalled Berry's positive attitude, mentioning that he kept saying, "Oh, I'll be all right. I'll be dancing in a couple of months." This resilience and spirit defined Berry's approach to life, even in the face of adversity. One of his fans wrote, "I miss Fred Berry. He was a talented character actor and amp dancer. Very light on his feet. I remember he got his start on Soul Train. A lot of talent came off that show. Ari Puri Run." Another one added, "Huge fan of What's Happening. Fred Berry was a huge part of why I love the show. I didn't know about some of Berry's troubled history, and thanks Dave for saying it straight and not waltzing around it. Rerun's character was so synonymous with Berry, they just seemed like they were the same person on screen and in real life. Thanks Dave. R.I.P. Fred." One more person added, "I know Ernest Thomas and other castmates said that Fred had a massive ego and caused his own problems, but at the same time Rerun was so crucial to both shows, and without him the show wasn't the same. It also wasn't the same without Dee and Mama Thomas, so What's Happening Now didn't stand a real chance to last without those three crucial characters." The television series What's Happening faced numerous challenges, taking a toll on the cast members both personally and professionally. One actor struggled with substance abuse, while another experienced difficulties in their marital relationship. Despite these hardships, the show remarkably became a favorite among the public during the 1970s. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.